Good morning, Stewartsburg kindergartners. Today I'm bringing you a story called The Seasons of Farming. It's a lot of information in it, so listen carefully. I want you to be thinking about the main topic of our story. What's the main topic? What does the writer want us to learn the most about? And what are some details about that topic? All right, let's get started. The Seasons of Farming. There are 4 seasons in a year. Spring always follows winter, summer always follows spring, and fall or autumn always follows summer. After autumn comes winter, and the cycle begins anew. A farmer's work, the jobs he or she does each day, changes from season to season. He or she does certain jobs in the spring, right here, in the summer, right here, in the fall, and in the winter. When we talk about the way in which a farmer's jobs change according to the seasons, it makes sense to begin with spring. It's this one right here. Spring is when plants awaken from the long winter. New buds, leaves, and blossoms appear on trees, and wildflowers bloom in the fields. Springtime also marks the beginning of the crop cycle, when seeds are planted and new crops begin to grow. A farmer cannot plant if he does not prepare the ground first. Typically, this is done with a plow. The plow has long, sharp teeth that dig into the earth, shredding the dirt and plants to make room for new seeds. In order to prepare or cultivate the soil, the farmer adds a little fertilizer, just to make sure that there are plenty of nutrients for his plants. Some fertilizers are made from chemicals and others are made from animal manure or animal waste. To plant large crops, most farmers use tractor-driven seed spreaders like this one. It drops the seeds into the rows that the farmer has already plowed and fertilized. As it passes, dropping seeds evenly in the rows, the seed spreader brushes a layer of soil over the seeds. After planting, the farmer watches the weather and hopes for rain. The seeds need water in order to sprout into seedlings. In many places, spring is also a rainy season. Few things make a farmer happier than the sight of dark rain clouds overhead. Eventually, the brown field will turn green as seedlings emerge from the soil. Once they have sprouted, the new plants will continue to need water. By the time spring makes way for summer, these corn plants will be about knee-high. These corn plants right here. Hopefully, they will continue to grow taller and taller through the hot summer. Sometimes problems arise and plants do not grow as expected. Look at these. Crops fail or die sometimes, no matter how hard a farmer works and no matter how much he knows about farming. Drought is one of the farmer's worst enemies. A drought occurs when it does not rain for a very long time. Droughts occur most frequently during the summertime. The crop in this picture is supposed to be tall and green. Instead, because of a drought, the crop is brown and wilted. If he has a good source of water nearby, the farmer can irrigate his crops. However, a long drought can cause wells and rivers to dry up. Irrigation can work well, but only if there is adequate rainfall. Unfortunately, rainfall isn't the only thing a farmer needs to worry about. Pests can ruin a crop as well, especially in the summer. Look at this guy. This is a locust, which is a type of grasshopper. Locusts are famous for destroying crops by eating them. Various types of worms, beetles, flies, and other insects can also eat a farmer's crops. Fortunately, farmers have ways of protecting their crops. Sometimes a farmer sprays pesticides or chemicals that repels bugs and insects in order to ensure that the crop will survive and yield plenty of fruits or vegetables. A farmer can apply pesticides using the same equipment he uses to fertilize his crops. This is the equipment he uses to water his crops and spray pesticides to kill bugs. For very large crops or fragile crops that could be damaged by tractor wheels, the farmer can hire a crop duster. A crop duster is a type of airplane. The pilot swoops down out of the sky, opens his hatch, and releases the pesticides over the crops. The crop duster can spread pesticides over a large area, and the farmer doesn't have to worry about trampling his crops with tractor tires. On some farms, harvest time is the hardest time. Most crops need to be harvested at just the right time or they will spoil. Harvest time is different for different crops and runs typically from early summer through the fall season. So here again is summer all the way to fall. Some crops like certain grapes must be harvested by hand so they are not damaged. During harvest time, farmers need all the help they can get. They often hire part-time helpers or farm hands to help bring in the harvest as quickly as possible. Actually, not all farmers need to plant new crops every winter. Farmers that own orchards or fruit tree farms, let me show you this. What kind of orchard does that look like? Looks like apples maybe to me. Farmers that own orchards or fruit tree farms such as apples and peaches only have to plant each tree one time. They may sound easier, but it also requires a lot of hard work and patience, as every orchard farmer knows. Once these apple trees are planted, the orchard owner must wait several years before they are able to produce big, red, juicy apples. After the trees are fully grown, they will follow the usual crop cycle, producing new leaves and flowers in the spring and young fruits in the summer. The apples grow all summer long until fall, when it is apple picking time. After harvest time, the farmer is finally able to take a rest. You might think that winter would be the easiest season for a farmer. Here's winter, not a lot of plants growing. However, winter is the only time the farmer has to fix tools and machinery that have worn out or broken during the rest of the year. It is also time to plan for the next planting season, to buy seeds and test the soil, to decide how much fertilizer he will need next year. No matter the season, there is always work to be done on the farm. So kindergartners, here's some questions for you. What are the 4 seasons of the year? Go ahead and pause the video. Tell your stuffed animal or your mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, a brother, sister, someone next to you. What are the 4 seasons of the year? Here's my next question. What can farmers do to protect their crops from drought? Remember, drought is when it doesn't rain for a really long time. Tell someone. Next question. What can farmers do to protect their crops from pests like bugs? Remember the locust? Tell someone next to you. My next question is, pretend you are a farmer. What kind of jobs can you do in the spring? Okay, next question. Pretend you are a farmer. What kind of jobs can you do in the summer? Pause the video, tell someone. All right, here's my next question. Pretend you are a farmer. What kind of jobs can you do in the fall? And I bet you can guess my next question. Pretend you are a farmer And tell me, what kind of jobs can you do in the winter? There's always something to be done, even in the winter. Pause the video, tell someone. My last question is, which season of the year do you think is most important on the farm? And tell me why. All right, friends, that was a long story, a lot of information. I want you to think about the main topic of the story. What was the story mostly about? And tell me 3 things you learned about that topic, 3 key details. Thank you for joining me today. I'll see you later.